Okay, good afternoon everyone and welcome to Aria webinars. Today we are going to discuss a new barcode scanning solution that Aria XP version has introduced recently to achieve inventory control efficiency using that barcode scanning solution. Actually, as most of you know that nowadays most of the merchandise, the styles are barcoded using a UPC barcode, and this unique UPC barcode identifies the style, the color, and the size attributes for your product line, and it became necessary nowadays to have an automated way to utilize the barcode scanning methods and using the handheld scanners or the scanner's device connected to a computer to be able to speed up the inventory control flow and to minimize, if not eliminate, the data entry across the system. So Aria has introduced recently a simple yet powerful solution for barcode scanning and integrate that with different areas and different functionalities within the Aria XP system. So I'm gonna move on to the next slide where it shows the key features of this new solution, the barcode scanning solution. So some of the key features are separate the scanning process from the other transactions entry, and this meaning that the person or the user who is sitting in the warehouse could be different than the person who is in charge of the transaction entry. For example, you can have a scanner connected to the PC in your warehouse, and the person who is in charge of the physical scanning process is just scanning the items using the barcode and then will pass the process on to another clerk in the office, in the back office, to continue or to enter the related transaction using that UPC items scanned in the first step. The second key feature is the ability to scan barcodes for either styles or packs. And as you probably know that Aria XP is capable to handle or to manage both types of UPCs. UPCs for individual styles, which represents an individual style, color, and size code, or packs, and the UPCs related to a pack. And in that case, the pack could include components, different components from different colors, different sizes, and so on. So the new scanning solution is capable to manage or to scan both types of UPCs, styles, or packs. The next key feature is the ability to import barcode batches from an external CSV file. And this particular feature could be very beneficial, especially if you plan to use like handheld scanning devices, or if your warehouse is totally or kind of separate from the back office regarding the procedure of scanning and utilizing the scanned items barcode. So in other words, as we will see during the demo, you can use like a handheld scanner device, which is capable, it should be capable to export a CSV file in a certain format, and then you can use the CSV file, the outcome of that scanning device, you can use that in Aria to import the UPCs and the item information scanned in the first place. Next ability is the ability to use the scanned barcodes in different areas in Aria and in different transactions to speed or to minimize the data entry required. So once you have a scanned items barcodes saved in a batch in the system, you can utilize the information in the enter location purchase order to transfer the merchandise from one warehouse to another if you do have multiple warehouses. You can use the data in the style purchase order screen to create POs using the scanned items as well. You can issue and receive the enter location PO Also that applicable to the first scenario of having multi-warehouse locations and you need to transfer the merchandise from one location to another. And finally, you can utilize the scanned barcode items in the receiving style PO process within Aria XP. So any of these four different transactions are now capable to use this new add-on solution, the scanned items barcode, and this will basically minimize, if not eliminate, the need for the data entry to enter style, color, size, etc. All this information will be translated using the barcode scanned batch. Finally, there is ability to create the packing list, the manual packing list using barcode scanning as well. So if you have a UPC number associated to your styles and you would like to physically scan the items during creating the packing list, you can as well use a scan function to scan the UPC barcode and thus create the packing list and the contents of each carton within a packing list. So this is again an overview of the key features of this new solution. Now we'll start talk about the interface that we designed, the scan items barcode screen, which is the interface used to connect or to utilize a scanning device, either a handheld or an attached scanner to the computer. And through the process, the system will translate the barcode scanned and save the item color and size information into a database, into a batch file, and this batch file could be used later on to speed up or to automate the data entry of the other transaction, as we'll see in a little bit. So I'm gonna switch here to the screen interface. Just to give an overview about the features in that interface, there is ability to scan packs or style UPCs, barcodes, ability to group the items by color or by the item measure to see the totals by style, no matter what the color or the size. Then there is ability to see the pack content if the style UPC or if the UPC scanned is related to a pack, not to a style. So now I'm gonna move to the Aria interface. I'll just switch the online meeting for everyone to be able to see my screen. Okay, so I hope everyone can see the Aria XP interface now. So I'm gonna give you a quick demo about this feature. So this new added solution has been installed on our live servers recently, and you can locate it under master data, main menu, then scan items barcode option. So master data, scan items barcodes. This new screen interface, as I mentioned, will be the interface that connects your barcode scanner device to Aria database, and it will be used to translate or to scan the items and translate the style item information into Aria database automatically to speed up the process. So I'm gonna start by adding a new batch. Can give it a description. This is just a hint or a note for you to know what was this scanning batch used for, or what it will be used for, either a transfer PO, receiving PO, style purchase order, etc. You initiate the process, of course, providing that the scanner device is connected to that computer. Once the scanner device is connected to the computer and you initiate the scanning process, which I'm gonna simulate now, the system will scan and translate immediately the barcode that you have just scanned into the related style, color, and size. And you can repeat the process again and again, either for the same item or for a different items. As you can see, this will tie the physical process or the physical items to Aria database. So as you scan the same barcode or the same item, you will see that the quantity field has been incremented each time, or each scan will increment 1 unit to the quantity. You can keep scanning as many items as you have. So let me scan another UPC. So here if I scan another barcode, the system will validate the information translated into the related style, color, and size, giving you the quantity field. And here you can, if you don't want to scan the same items again and again, you can simply go and override the total quantity that you are scanning. So if you are wishing or willing to transfer item AB12345, color black, size 27 with, let us say, 5 pieces, you can directly scan it one time and put 5 in the quantity field, and that will do the job, and will later on will transfer or will include 5 units from the scanned item barcode. And as I mentioned in the beginning, you can scan actually barcodes for either individual styles, which is color, style, color, and size, or you can scan it for a pack ID. So if this UPC relates to a pack ID as you see now, the system will translate the pack ID that you have associated with that barcode, and then you can, from the sub items tab, you can see the components of this pack ID. So as you can see, I scanned this UPC for pack whatever, 1, 2, 3. It's a pack of 6 pieces. If many of you is aware of the pack concept in Aria, you will know that the pack would include multiple styles, multiple colors, and sizes within the same pack ID. So the system here translated the pack into the individual component by color and by size. So this is again an example of the scanning process, how to scan items, either individual items, style, color, and size, or to scan packs. And in case of packs, you should be able to see the contents of the pack within the sub-items screen. One other feature that we have in that screen interface is the ability to group the lines that have been scanned so far, either by color or by the item measure. So if you have one style with different colors, you probably need to know what is the total for that color, no matter what the size. So if you choose group by color, then the system will give you the total quantity for that style for color black, no matter how many size you have. Likewise, if you choose the sorting or the grouping by item, then the system will give you the total of that style AB12345, no matter what the color, no matter what the size. So it's a way, or it's a mean for consolidating your data and looking at it in the screen in one view, so you can verify the total quantities being scanned. And this will be especially important if you are doing an inventory transaction, or a transaction that would be later on affecting your style purchase order. So you need to have the tool to verify your total quantities scanned so far. So this is a simple example of scanning process for individual items, style, color, and size, or a pack item which could have subsequently different colors and different sizes. So now I'm gonna save this after I'm done with all the scanning process, after I scanned all the items that I would like to either transfer from one warehouse to another, or include in a purchase order, or receive in the warehouse. Any of these activity can utilize the scanned barcode batch. So now the batch has been saved in the database, and it's in status open. So the batch status will remain open until the batch is utilized in a certain way or in a certain transaction. As we mentioned, it could be used in a interlocation PO to transfer goods from location A to location B. It could be used in a style purchase order creation. It could be used in receiving or issuance of a PO, or finally receiving a PO. So let us go through that process and how this solution will be integrated with the other transactions. Before we leave here, of course, the batch is editable as long as the status is still open. You can edit the batch at any time. You can delete items, you can remove items, or you can continue scanning. If you forgot some items and would like to continue scanning, that's not a problem. You can keep scanning the rest of the items that you'd like to include in that batch. So once this process is done, which typically would be the physical scanning of the merchandise in the warehouse, then you can utilize the scanned batch in several ways. First area or first transaction is the style purchase order. So in transaction style PO module purchase order, instead of entering the style PO lines manually, you can actually, at the time of creating a new production or a new purchase order, now we have added on, or now there is a new add-on within the details tab. If you go to options menu, import from scanning batch, this is the new add-on that we have recently developed. There you will be able to pull up one of the scanned batch that we have just created, and simply this will import all the line items from that scanned batch into the transaction that we are in. So if I choose that batch, let us say, let me just select a warehouse, a location. So I'm gonna ship to main warehouse location. Of course, you will have to enter the main, the header information of the PO. Once you do that and you go to options, import from scanning batch, select the batch that you have just scanned or your warehouse team have scanned for you, whatever the case is. As you can see, in a click, the system will automatically import the line items included in that batch, translated into the related style, color, and size, and put the quantity based on what you scanned within the original scanning batch that we had. So this is how this new add-on works. So imagine if you have like a PO with 100 lines instead of adding them manually one by one, you simply can scan the barcode label, attach it to the styles, fill in the quantity included in a batch, and then import that batch into a style purchase order. So that will speed up the process, minimizing the data entry and any human errors associated with the data entry. So this is one activity, or this is one example of utilizing the scanned barcode items in a transaction. Let me do another batch just for the sake of testing to show you the next or the other transactions. So this is a new batch, and the same way I'm gonna scan the barcode and the system will translate it into the proper style, color, and size along with the quantity. Either you can keep scanning the same item, or you can revise the quantity manually to represent how many units scanned of that item. So once you do that, you save and you get a new batch number. The batch number will be saved in the database and is capable to be edited, to insert new items, or to revise the quantity, and so on. So now the next transaction that we can utilize the scanned items barcode would be in the enter location PO. So within the style purchase order module, you can go to PO, then enter location purchase order. And the enter location purchase order, if you are unfamiliar with it, it's a transaction exists in Aria from the beginning. It's typically used if you have a back office, or if you have a main warehouse and different stores or different sub warehouses that you would like to use as a point of sale, and you can transfer the merchandise from the main warehouse to the other sub-locations or the other destinations. So in that case, there will be a source warehouse, there will be a destination warehouse, and this interlocation transaction, similar to what we discussed in the Style PO module, there is a new add-on in the options menu. You can go and choose import from scanning batch, and the scanning batch will be simply serving as the data entry for that Style PO line. So instead of doing the data entry manually by typing in the style color, the size, quantity, etc., you simply go to options, import from scanning batch, and that will do the trick and import all the line items information into that transaction, which in that case it's a style purchase order, interlocation PO. So everything else is typically the same standard Aria screen. So if you are doing a purchase order, you will have the summary tab to review, you will have the details and the headers. So the whole idea or the whole purpose of that solution that it automate the line item entry, and instead of entering the style colors manually, it utilize the scanned batch that we have done in the first step using the barcode scanner functionality. The other part that has been revised or utilizing that new add-on is the style purchase order receiving. So if you are in the style PO module receiving function, you can either issue an interlocation PO using a barcode scanned batch, or you can receive the PO as well using a batch. So let me show you the receiving PO functionality, the new add-on, how it is now done. So here if I go to select my PO, let me select any of the open POs. Okay, let me choose to, I'm gonna just change the PO status to open first, because it does not allow me to receive while the PO status is on hold. So I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna create a cost sheet for that PO. Okay, alright, yeah, I think the style needs to be switched first to an imported style. So just bear with me 1 second. This is not related to the topic we are discussing, but I just need to fix the style for be able to continue the receiving part. Okay, I'm gonna add a style cost sheet, imported style cost sheet real quick for that style to be able to continue the receiving process. Okay, this is done. Again, this is not related to the scope of this training session, but it is just to continue the cycle and show you how to receive a PO using the scanned barcodes. Okay, now I have the status of the PO is open and I have the cost sheet. So let us say I scan the items to be received in the warehouse and I have a scanned barcode batch created. Now if I am ready to receive the merchandise in the warehouse, instead of receiving the transaction manually by selecting the lines, Now I should be able to receive that PO that we have just created using an import from a scanning batch. So this button is the new add-on that we have implemented recently to allow you, instead of manually receiving the line items of the PO, you can import it from a scanning batch, and this way there is no data entry involved. You'll just use the same scanning batch file that we have created using the barcode scanner, and this will typically transfer the style item information and the quantity to be received into the receiving batch, so you can post them without having to re-enter the information manually again. So as you can see, the main idea of that solution that it minimize or eliminate completely the data entry efforts. So instead of typing in the style, color, the size, the quantity again and again every time, and this is very prone to human errors, so you scan them, you scan the barcodes, and the barcode will be translated into Aria, and this way once you have a scanned item batch, you can utilize it in several ways, either in the purchase order, the enter location PO, or receiving the PO. So now I'm gonna switch back to the slideshow. Just bear with me 1 second. I want to switch back the screen display. All right. So the next slide in our presentation today, we just talked about the interface, the scan items barcode screen, and we saw how to utilize it in those areas or in those transactions: enter location PO, style purchase order, issue receive, enter PO, or receiving a style PO. So all these 4 different transactions in the system are now having this new add-on solution to allow entering the data using a scanned items batch file. Finally, our last topic today, we'll talk about the scan and pack in the packing list creation. So similar to the other transaction we talked about, we can now use the scan and pack to scan barcode labels in the packing list screen if you would like to create the packing list using a barcode scanner rather than manually entering the transactions. So I'm going to switch back to the Aria interface. And sorry, I used the wrong, here it is. Okay, so now this is back to Aria XP interface. If I go to the sales order allocation module in Aria XP, packing list, manual packing list, the same process like you do normally to create a packing list for an existing sales order would follow to create the packing list to associate it with a bill of lading, same like what you do normally, but instead of creating the cartons and assigning the carton contents manually, you can tie this physically to the scanning process. So in the carton information, you can add a new carton, and here there is a scan button. This scan button will simply let you scan the barcode label for any UPC that is included, of course, on that sales order. And once the scan process is done successfully, the barcode is verified, then the system will translate that into the related style, color, and size. So this way you make sure that the system is actually filling in the packing list with the actual style that has been packed. So there is no chance for errors, or there is no chance for typing a style color incorrectly and so on. So same idea, you can keep scanning the same barcode several times if you would like to increment the quantity, or otherwise you can scan a new barcode if you would like to scan another barcode for another style. Okay, so this is actually the message that shows up because I scanned the same item several times, so it actually incremented the quantity, and that's why it's now more than the quantity in the sales order. So now if I scan another line item, it will go and translate the barcode as usual and give me the related style, color, size for that barcode, giving me the quantity that was scanned or the quantity on the sales order. Once you are done, you can create a new carton. So the idea here that you manually pick and pack the carton. So as you go, you can continue by adding carton number 2, scan the next UPCs for that carton, and the system will translate the data into the style, color, and size that you have. When you are done, you will be able to save the packing list, and this will be used in the system the same way like you do it manually. The only thing here that we minimized the data entry. We eliminated the human errors by using the scanned UPC items. This way you tie the physical process or the physical packing process to the sales order and to the packing list. Of course, this would minimize the human errors and increase the efficiency of the warehouse team to avoid or minimize any data entry efforts and so on. So as I mentioned, this solution is actually very simple but powerful solution that has been integrated so far in these 4 areas of the system. So now I'm going to open up the discussion if anyone have any questions or ideas or suggestion. All right, so the microphone is now unmuted. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, so I believe no one has any questions. So thank you everyone for
Al,
attending.
I'm sorry. I do have a question. It's Leon.
Hi, Leon. How are you?
I'm fine. I
Good.
got in a little late, so you might have covered this, but I'm just wondering, can we set up GTINs from certain customer GTIN barcodes for the barcodes that the vendors shipping goods to us to use to scan and purchase orders?
If the G10 is entered in Aria EDI as the UPC number, then yes, this solution would cover that scenario, because my understanding is the G10 is it the European UPC number? Am I correct?
It's like a 14-digit UPC barcode. It's not the standard.
Okay. Yeah, I believe the whole idea, Leon, that this scanning solution scan the barcode on the price tickets that you have on your merchandise. So if the barcode is valid in Aria and is translated, then the scanning solution will be able to translate it to the proper style, color, and size.
So does Aria support GTIN barcodes?
This is, I have to check with the ADI. I'm not so quite sure about the G10s, but I know if they are similar to UPCs, then I think you should be able to create them from the UPC maintenance in the Aria EDI. But I think Aria supports the regular UPCs, which is the regular 12-digit UPC numbers. My understanding, the G10s have like kind of a prefix, a fixed additional digit for the company code.
Right.
So in that case, I would say if your barcode label is putting that prefix digit, as part of the barcode, Aria would be able to scan the regular barcode, the other 12 digit, providing that the prefix would always be fixed. It would be the same for the same company. But again, I'm not 100% sure if the UPC maintenance screen is capable to manage that. This is not in the scope of that solution. It's mainly the EDI screen for the UPC maintenance is the one responsible for generating barcodes and UPCs.
Okay.
So Other than that, if you have a regular UPC that is following the regular UPC structure, 12 digits, and you have price tickets on your styles, then yes, for sure, the scanning solution will be able to scan and translate them, save them in a batch, and you can utilize them in any of the transactions as mentioned in that slideshow.
Okay, and can you cross-reference more than one UPC to a specific SKU number?
More than one UPC to a specific SKU. Yeah, the SKU, if you refer to the SKU as your style, then yes, the UPC would be the style, the color, and the size. I'm not sure if I understood your question correctly.
My question is if, let's say, for pricing reasons or for whatever specific reasons, I need to have 3 different UPCs for the same specific item. In other words, customer A gets UPC 1, customer B gets UPC 2, and customer C gets UPC 3. Can I cross-reference all 3 UPCs to one SKU number so that when I scan either inter-location purchase orders or those type of movement for packing slips, that they'll recognize the same SKU coming out of inventory?
So what you are saying that you don't have a unique UPC for the same SKU, you might have different numbers for the same physical item.
Yes.
No, I don't think this would work, Leon, because the UPC is supposedly the whole concept of the UPC. It's a unique number, a unique identifier for a style, color, and size. So what you are talking about, we call it an Aria SKU, and that's entered under the SKU maintenance screen related to a specific account. So the solution here, unfortunately, no, it's not managing the SKUs. It's managing the UPC, providing, again, the UPC is a unique identifier for one style, one color, one size. Or a pack ID. Maybe came to my mind a workaround. If you treat those items as a pack ID in Aria, then this could, I think, could solve the problem because you will have a unique pack ID for each customer, and then you can assign a UPC to that pack ID. So it's kind of a workaround. We tweak it a little bit, but the end results would be that you treat your SKU number as a pack ID in the system just for the sake of allowing the system to have a different UPCs for the same item.
Understood.
Yep. Other than that, if it's an individual style, then the UPC has to be unique. It has to be a UPC for style, color, and size, validated in Aria. Once it's validated, it will translate it into the proper information and save it for you in a database.
Okay, very good.
Okay, very good. Okay, thank you, Leon, for your question. Okay, anyone else have any questions or ideas that we might benefit from?
We've got a shy crowd.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet. I was following your presentation. This is Marcia from Tuscany and Company.
Yes, hi,
And
Marcia.
I know this is something that we're beginning to look at.
Right.
To me, it's still a little overwhelming as I'm trying to like grasp the whole Aria world. But it does seem interesting, and I like the fact that it will save me from literally entering everything manually, and I really like that.
Yeah,
So,
it is.
you know, I do see us using it down the road.
Right.
It's something that I'm looking forward to having. I'm not sure how soon that will be, but it does look like something we will be doing in the future.
That's great. That's very good to know. I'll be excited to help you guys out once you reach to that step, of course.
Thank you.
Just one comment, of course, any company who plan to utilize that, they should have a company UCC code to be able to generate, barcodes and UPC numbers, which is obviously a pre-requirement for that solution. So again, the system depends on the UPC numbers that are generated in Aria, and providing that you have a price tickets with that barcode and a scanning device connected to a computer, then this would work fine in that case. Okay, very good. So,
I'm sorry, one more question, and this might not be pertinent to exactly this particular webinar, but you support printing out the barcodes, right, with all kinds of barcode printers?
yeah, if you are talking about price tickets specific for EDI partners, or are you talking in general?
Specific, like for case or pack IDs, where we need to print out specific readable barcodes. When we create them in Aria, is Aria capable of printing them out as a barcode?
I'm on the webinar.
Within the Aria EDI, yeah, within the EDI, there is a capability to print price tickets under the output menu, and usually this is a format or a template tied to the EDI partner. So, so it is available, Leon, but you just have to let us know which partner and what's the price ticket format available, and we'll see if it's available in our library or we'll need to develop it. Because as you know, each partner mandates or requires certain format, certain size for the price ticket. So all these are basically designed by partner, by EDI partner.
Great.
If you want to take a look on that, you probably can see under output in the EDI module and under price tickets. If you do have some partners who already have a template or a format, you probably can see how the price tickets looks like from Aria EDI.
Good.
Okay, sounds good. So if anyone else have any question, let me know. Otherwise, I'd like to thank everyone for attending today, and for sure we'll be excited to help any customer who is planning to start utilize this feature in the soon future. Okay, thank you everyone, and have a good afternoon.
Bye.
Thank you, you too. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.